Hello and welcome to ThePrint. We have a special guest with us, Bansuri Swaraj. Welcome to ThePrint, Bansuri. Many people are curious about her professional, her political plunge. So, to answer all your questions today, we have with us Bansuri. So, first question itself, how difficult or challenging you think it is being, senior BJP leader Sushma Swaraj's daughter?
First of all, thank you very much for having me on your show. And it's not a challenge at all because I am daughter of Sushma Swaraj, the mother, not daughter of Sushma Swaraj, the Neta. She was a force to be reckoned with, and I think the political topography of India and the history of India was definitely richer for having her as one of the stalwarts of Indian political history. But having said that, the burden of a legacy is something that weighs on other people's mind. My mother ensured that I was raised to be a very independent human being. I would say actually credit goes to both my parents. I was somebody who was encouraged to make my own independent decisions, to exercise my own choices. And that is definitely something which is reflected in my personality. She invested a lot of herself in terms of time, in terms of she was definitely the architect of my personality. But like I said, there is no pressure, there is no challenge. All I know is I am very privileged. Must have done something very right. Must have done some major tapasya to be born of Sushma Swaraj. She was the best mom ever.
Yes. So, you're contesting from the New Delhi Lok Sabha seat. It's one of the most prestigious seats. What was your first reaction when you got to know that the party has, the party wants you to contest from there?
So first of all, I don't think any seat is high profile or low profile. We're going into an election. Every seat is equally important. Every voter is equally important and requires the same amount of hard work. And I would say relentless hard work. As far as how did I come to know and what was my reaction, I found out just like everyone else. I found out from the television. I was watching TV with my father. And when I found out, I think there was this immense sense of gratitude. It was unexpected for myself. I did not have any inclination or hint before. Immediately took my dad's blessings, went and took, stood in front of my mom's portrait, took her blessings, went to the temple, took God's blessings. And then I was, I'm a soldier. I said, all right, let's buck up. Let's go to war.
So how difficult is it going to be to sort of fit into, Meenakshi Lekhi's shoes? Because she was the one who represents this seat. What was her reaction? Many said she was upset. Is she going to help you out in the campaign? Is she already helping you in the campaign?
She's already helping me. First of all, I think these are all sort of rumors which are being spread. There's no truth to it. She was very kind. When I went, I'll be very honest, she's somebody who showered her blessings. She gave me guidance. Of course, she gave me some few secret tips, which I'm not going to share. But she's very, very kind. And like I said, in our party, and I've said this multiple times, getting a ticket is not a reward. It's actually a responsibility. And getting a pad as well, getting a position, it's not a reward. It's a responsibility. As long as you are sort of bestowed with that responsibility, you give it your best. If the baton is passed on to someone else, then you have to ensure that you guide them to achieve their potential and do it to the best of their ability. That's exactly what she has done.
And how are you campaigning? You've already started your campaign. New Delhi Lok Sabha seat is where you're contesting from. How are you reaching out to the people?
Oh, just by going. I'm in the midst of the people and across strata, across economic background. We're going to Seva Bastis, we're going to RWAs, we're going to Samajik programs, using a lot of social media as well. The only way to be with people is actually to be with people. There is no shortcut to campaign. And there is, it doesn't matter, even in this age of proliferation of media, you cannot take anything for granted. You need to ensure that human contact, that is still irreplaceable.
So, the BJP as well as Prime Minister Narendra Modi, they have always sort of criticized the opposition over dynastic politics. And one of the criticism that comes to you is the fact that your credentials are that you are Sushma Swaraj's daughter. That's the only reason that you've got the ticket. This is what the opposition says. How do you respond to that?
Thank you for asking me this question. It at least allows me to sort of, demystify or clarify the air. First of all, with a lot of responsibility, I say this. I am Sushma Swaraj's daughter is a fact. It is a privilege that I have earned in my life. Like I said, must have done something very good karma in my last life. It's not my credential. My credential is that I am somebody who has spent over a decade. This is my 17th year in the profession of law. My credential is that my Sangha is 24 years. My credentials are that I started my political career as a Karyakarta of ABVP. My credentials are that I started working for the party a decade ago in the courts as a lawyer. And later on, I came into a more formalized role, first as a co-convener of the legal cell. Later on, I graduated when the party bestowed the responsibility of becoming a secretary of the Delhi state BJP. I'm somebody who has had an opportunity of working from the ground up. Now, regarding dynastic politics, just because my mother was a people's representative does not mean that politics is taboo for me. What it does mean is that I have an equal right to struggle, to strive, to put in the effort, just like anybody else who comes from a family where the parents are not public representatives. Dynastic politics or parivarvaad definitely kicks in if the moment you come into politics, you become responsible for the number one position. Why? Because you have a certain surname. You are the one who must become the chief minister. You are the one who must become the prime minister. Or you are the one who should head the party just because you have that particular surname. The party has given me an opportunity, like I said, to struggle and strive like just anybody else.
So let's talk a little about Delhi. Since 1998, the BJP has not been able to come to power in Delhi. Sushma Swaraj was the chief minister in 1998. What is ailing Delhi? The vote percentage remains intact. As far as Lok Sabha elections are concerned, you guys do very well. What is it that is stopping you in Delhi?
Nothing is stopping us in Delhi. And you're going to see in 2025 that the Aam Aadmi Party is going to be unseated from Delhi. I say this with immense faith because Delhi's Delhiites are very, very intelligent. And I'll be honest, they are extremely disillusioned by the Aam Aadmi Party, especially because the Aam Aadmi Party is a party that was elected on an anti-corruption plank. But today, they are drowning in corruption. There's not a single department where the Aam Aadmi Party has not sort of indulged in any kind of scam. Also, look at the comparative analysis. On one hand, the BJP government gives Jan Aushadhi Kendra and ensures that very good quality drugs, medicines are actually distributed amongst people at very low costs. On the other hand, you have the Aam Aadmi Party, where in Mohalla clinics, you have spurious drugs being distributed. In Mohalla clinics, you have doctors not coming and diagnosing patients. It's actually the administrative staff. You're playing with lives of people. The whole aspect of pathological tests, they were fake. 20,000 ghost patients were actually created with false mobile numbers. These are very, very serious allegations. And this is just one of the examples. I can actually canonize a whole list of scams, whether it's the Delhi Jal Board, whether it's the classroom ghotala, whether it is the Sheesh Mahal ghotala, and definitely the liquor gate.
So AAP but claims that, the BJP is unable to counter it politically, and which is why it is, sort of misusing ED or other agencies and putting all their leaders behind the bars, whether it's Arvind Kejriwal or Sanjay Singh, who's now out on bail, or Manish Sisodia. So what's your reaction to that?
It's a baseless allegation. So there are two aspects to it. Let me first deal about the investigating agencies. The whole sort of hue and cry about misuse of investigating agencies is extremely baseless. Because it is not the BJP that is keeping these leaders in jail. It is the courts of the country, whether it is the trial court, high court, or the Supreme Court of India. 7 times the bail of Mr. Manish Sisodia has been rejected. Recently, even the curative petition was dismissed by the Honorable Supreme Court. It's the courts of the land that have found that prima facie evidence has already been established against the Aam Aadmi Party leaders in terms of corruption. And even when the Delhi High Court dismissed the interim application of Mr. Kejriwal, the Honorable CM, they first perused the entire evidence that the ED had presented and then refused to grant him protection. These are very, very serious aspects. Now, regarding their arrest, it's crazy. I say this with a tremendous amount of responsibility. The Honorable Chief Minister has invited and orchestrated this entire circumstance of his own arrest. The ED has been asking him to join the investigation since 2nd of November 2023. That time he gave very flimsical excuses like he's going on a 10-day Vipassana workshop. In PMLA law, it is mandatory for you to come and adhere to the summons. Section 50, subsection 3 of the PMLA makes it mandatory in law. If you do not honor the summons, then you're creating another offense qua yourself under section 174 of the IPC. By dishonoring 9 summons, the Honorable Chief Minister Shri Arvind Kejriwal literally forced the hands of the investigating agencies to come and take him away for custodial interrogation. The BJP had nothing to do with it.
Kejriwal is in jail. A number of other leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party are also behind bars. How is Delhi being managed? I mean, is this something that the BJP is raising as far as Delhi is concerned? Is it an issue that you are going to take up as far as your elections are concerned?
Of course, we are a very responsible opposition party in Delhi. And must say this, Delhi is not being managed. Delhi is being mismanaged. The whole aspect that Honorable Chief Minister Mr. Arvind Kejriwal is hell-bent on clinging to power. He is not resigning. Just on the grounds of morality, he ought to resign. And I want to ask him, if it is not immoral, right? If it is moral to run the government from jail, then why did he ask Mr. Manish Sisodia to resign? Why did he make Mr. Satyendra Jain resign after his arrest? Today, when the Honorable Chief Minister is insistent on sort of clinging to power and not resigning, this decision is to the detriment of the people of Delhi.
As far as Delhi Lok Sabha elections are concerned, we saw that a number of BJP MPs, 5 of them, have been replaced. So at a time when BJP is saying it is so sure of winning the election, this is an election of electing the Prime Minister, opposition says that this shows that there is anti-incumbency, and if these leaders would have been fielded, they would have been lost.
No, not at all. Not at all. As I've said before as well, हमारी पार्टी में ना टिकट मिलता है, कटता नहीं है. पद नहीं होते, दायित्व होते हैं. जब तक आपको एक दायित्व दिया जाता है, आप उसको पूरी निष्ठा से निभाते हैं. और अगर वो दायित्व किसी और को सौंप दिया जाता है, तो आप मार्गदर्शन करते हैं उनका कि उस दायित्व को पूरी तरह वो निभाएं. And there is absolutely no incumbency. Please see on 4th of June, I'm predicting all 7 seats are going to actually go in favor of the Bharatiya Janata Party.
A little about your personal life, you talked about your career. How are you managing your political as well as your professional career?
I think we women are born multitaskers, right? We are very good time managers. So I won't lie, right now I'm concentrating more on the campaign, but I know that I will get back to court after 4th of June. I know that I will be, if the people of Delhi give me a chance to represent them in Parliament, then I know that I will be able to do my best in both fields, whether it's law or politics.
One of the major poll planks of the BJP is women empowerment, and how, both PM Modi as well as the party, all the steps that they have taken as far as women empowerment is concerned. But ThePrint analyzed, the tickets that have been announced so far, and it found that out of 417, only 68 women candidates have been fielded. So how do you respond to that? That's only 16%, I believe. Yeah.
No, but it's increased. In 2019, there were 55 candidates. Now there are 68 candidates. And also the Modi administration has already passed the law of Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam, whereby 33% reservation in favor of women has been brought both in Vidhan Sabha and Parliament. I would also like to talk about the fact that though that Adhiniyam has not been implemented, in Delhi alone, not one, but actually 2 Nari Shakti, myself and my older sister, somebody that I absolutely adore and respect, Kamaljeet Sehrawat ji, has also been fielded. Also, PM Modi is the only one who had not one but 2 women as part of his CCS in his first Karakal, both Srimati Sushma Swaraj and Ms. Nirmala Sitharaman ji. And today as well, there are over 10 members of the ministerial cabinet who are women. So, of course, the Prime Minister is not only committed towards women representation, he has taken the philosophy of women empowerment a step further. the rhetoric has progressed to not just women empowerment, but women-led development. So empowerment of the nation under the leadership of women.
And a bit personal about you again. Did your mother, Sushma Swaraj, ever want you to be in politics?
No, I mean, to be very honest, there was no discussion. There was a lot of discussion qua law. Because obviously, I just finished my undergraduation from Warwick in English literature, and then we were deciding what do we want to do, whether I want to do journalism or I want to do filmmaking or I want to go into law, because all three were options. And I remember having lengthy deliberations with both my parents, and then deciding I want to do law.
So who's your mentor now? Who is telling you how to go about it? Helping you out, hand-holding you? Who is that person? Or who do you look up to when you need some advice or the other?
So I'll be honest. Of course, my father is a huge influence in everybody's life. But there are two people who I don't have the privilege of interacting physically, but I know that I learn a lot from their lives. One would obviously be my mother. I'm a distillation of her values. And the other is my Aradhya, Bhagwan Krishna. I believe whenever I'm confused, I just randomly open a chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, and that gives me a lot of guidance.
And what are the issues, if you are elected, what are the three key issues that you will work on as far as your constituency is concerned?
So, of course, the first one is that there are a lot of government schemes which have been brought in by Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, which unfortunately the Honorable Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal ji has not even implemented in Delhi because of his own political gain. For example, Ayushman Bharat. The whole aspect of the beneficiary getting 5 lakh rupee worth of medical cover. Rest of the country is benefiting, but in Delhi it is not implemented. Similarly, PM Awas Yojana, Pakka Makan. More than 4 crore Pakka Makan have been made for the rest of the country, but the Honorable Chief Minister is not permitted for that particular Yojana to be implemented in Delhi. So first thing that I need to do is do everything possible to ensure that Delhiites are not left bereft of these beneficial schemes. The second thing is that the corruption of Aam Aadmi Party is a huge local issue. And that is something that I'm going to definitely do as a representative of the people, raise my voice against it. Then there are a lot of local issues, and I have promised the electorate that I will do everything in my power to ensure that we can resolve them quickly. One of my dream projects would be to start a startup hub. I'm very inspired by Stand Up India, Startup India and Lakpati Didi. So I would love to make a one-stop shop a place where you come with a nascent idea, and then whatever knowledge is required for you to help you fructify that, whether it's legal compliances or the kind of docket you need to make to take to the angel investors, I would love to do that, especially because that will economically empower the youth and the women of the constituency.
Again, I'll come to Aam Aadmi Party again. The number of freebies that they had announced. A lot of experts say that, people from lower sections of the society, they have been voting for Arvind Kejriwal for years now, and that is something that the BJP will find difficult to counter. How are you reaching out to people living in slums, unauthorized colonies? What is it that you are promising them?
Come on the campaign trail and see with me. The electorate is very intelligent. लोगों को मुफ्त का पानी नहीं चाहिए, साफ पानी चाहिए. You need to come and see. So I am a voter of the Vidhan Sabha where the Honorable Chief Minister is the winning MLA. I've never seen my local representative. You need to come. You're talking about Seva Bastis. Even the Seva Bastis here, the things that he promised, like sewage, drainage, clean water, none of it has happened. And people are actually living in very despicable states. So they were nothing but false promises. And people have wisened up.
We have seen, this is my last question to you, that as election is progressing, we are seeing that a number of people are using derogatory language, especially against women. Don't you think women cutting across party lines should, come forward and say that, there's some basic decorum that has to be maintained?
I think that the fact that there is some basic decorum that has to be maintained is something which is it's not even something that one needs to be, raise a voice
I mean,
against. It's
I'm
something very
mentioning
obvious.
Kangana Ranaut, Hema Malini. There have been many instances.
Oh my God, the kind of statement that was made against Ms. Ranaut, I was coming to that. It's absolutely despicable. It actually shows, it's reflective of the Congress Party's anti-women rhetoric. No matter what kind of false promises they make in their manifesto. But this is not only about Kangana ji. In fact, what's really sad is that that comment was made by another woman. And the kind of excuse that Supriya ji actually made later on, it's unbelievable. She is the chairperson of the social media department of the Congress Party. If she is not responsible for her own social media handle, then who is responsible for the social media handles or the social media department of the Congress Party? But like I said, there is also a larger issue involved. The Congress Party and the India Alliance is generally, I would say, anti-women. They maintained an absolute pin drop silence on Sandesh Khali in what happened there. Similarly, in Delhi, there is a very serious allegation against an Aam Aadmi Party leader of molesting. There is a POCSO case against him for violating the dignity of a minor daughter of another Aam Aadmi Party worker. Neither did the Congress Party speak up against it, nor did the Aam Aadmi Party speak up about it. बट वो कहते हैं ना कि इनके गठबंधन धर्म के आड़ में राष्ट्र धर्म और राष्ट्रहित दोनों की बलि चढ़ रही है.
But at times even BJP leaders indulge in such kind of language. Don't you think that, as I said, cutting across party lines, this is something that should be maintained?
That is certainly there. I think then one has to, that kind of decorum is something that needs to be made across party lines. But I'm just coming back to the India Alliance for a moment, because there is a lot more responsibility when political parties come together, and if they remain silent for vote bank politics on such a serious issue, then it only shows that their entire alliance is hinged and wedged only on selfish political gain, and that is detrimental to the country at large.
You mentioned India Alliance. As far as Delhi is also concerned, Congress as well as Aam Aadmi Party, they are also in an alliance in Delhi, and a lot of people are saying that some of their candidates are quite strong. How is the party looking at that?
I do not see them much as a challenge, because this alliance has eroded away at the credibility of the Honorable Chief Minister Shri Arvind Kejriwal ji. If you remember, he had actually sworn on his children's lives that he would never ever form an alliance with the Congress Party. But when he did a 180-degree U-turn, the people of Delhi sort of lost faith in him further.
And just one last question. Again, a lot of people within the BJP also claim that, your candidature, that you are an outsider, someone local should have been given. Are you getting the kind of support that you should get as far as your campaigning is concerned from the state unit?
I'm born and brought up in Delhi. I'm a Delhi di kudi. I mean, I don't understand this allegation of an outsider. I'm sorry, this is the first time I'm hearing about it.
Outsider in the sense that you were not there, you were not part of the Delhi BJP, and at the last minute your candidature had come.
But that's a misnomer. That's a misnomer. As I said, I've been serving the party for over a decade. First as a lawyer, and then I started my journey as a co-convener of the legal cell. Then I got sort of the opportunity of becoming the secretary of Delhi BJP. I have been part of the Sangathan. I've been a Karyakarta of ABPP for the last 24 years. So where is the question of being an outsider?
So you're getting all the support?
Come on the campaign trail. I'm very, very grateful.
I will.
I'm very grateful to the people of Delhi for the kind of love, affection and blessings that they are bestowing on me. And I will do my level best, if elected, to ensure that unke bharose ko kabhi sharminda na karu.
How do you see the Aam Aadmi Party's candidate Somnath Bharti? He has served Delhi for a while now. He's also a known face. He has been making rounds of, Delhi, the parks and all to reach out to the people. How do you see him and his candidature?
Baba Somnath ka आशीर्वाद श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के सिर पर है. सामने कोई भी सोमनाथ खड़े हो जाए, फर्क नहीं पड़ता.
Thank you so much for talking to us, Bansuri. This is Neelam Pandey reporting with Anisha from New Delhi.